How do you know when to buy a stock? What are some of the factors that you have to consider as a new investor when looking into a potential stock to possibly invest in? So what I went ahead to do is I created a short list with just about 10 questions that you need to ask yourself and that you need to research thoroughly to help you determine whether or not you're going to invest into or buy a particular stock. This is not an exhaustive or a full list, but I believe that these are 10 of the main questions you want to get a thorough understanding of before you decide whether or not you're going to buy or invest in that stock. So first, you need to know how does the company make money. You need to understand the company's products and services and how they generate income and revenues from said products and services. Next, you want to understand how the company has been performing financially. This is where you're going to look at the quarterly and the annual reports. You're going to look at the income, profit, or trading profit and loss. You're going to look at the balance sheet. You're going to look at the cash flow statement to get an idea of the company's financial position. The next thing you want to understand is how has the company historically traded on the market. So this is where you're going to use either the Jamaica Stock Exchange's website or other financial websites to get an idea of how the stock has been trading on the market. You also want to get an idea of what the demand and supply is like currently for the stock. So this is where you're going to look at the buy queue and the sell queue on the market to see what persons are buying the stock for and what are the quantities like, the volumes like, as well as what they're selling the stock for and what are those volumes like, right? So you need to get an idea of the demand and supply situation of the stock. Additionally, you need to also understand if the company has a competitive advantage. What separates that company from other businesses and other companies within their industry? Do they have a moat? Do they have a competitive advantage that will help them to capture more market share? These are things you need to know. As well as you also want to know the risks associated with the investment. So what are the risks that you are taking on as an investor investing in this company, as well as what are the risks that the business faces. Next, you want to understand if there are any factors that you can foresee based on market or economic trends that will result in an increase or a decrease in the stock price, as this is ultimately going to impact the value of your investment in the short, medium, and ultimately the long term. You also want to get an understanding of what is the intrinsic or fair value of this investment, as what the price is on the market might not be what the fair value of the investment is. You also want to know, does this investment align with your goals, and will this investment help you to accomplish your goals that you set out to and to fulfill the purpose for you to invest in it. And then lastly, you need to have a plan or a strategy. What do you do if the investment goes south or if things do not work out for you? So basically, you need to have an exit strategy. But hopefully this video would have helped you to get a better understanding of how to determine what stocks to invest in or to buy.